Billy, you became an instant sensation in horse racing after you were emoting on TVG after winning the Louisiana Derby with Hot Rod Charlie. Just sort of talk about that experience.
You know, I have a daughter that's 33 and a son that's 30. Even they were impressed with how I was trending on Twitter from that interview. What was the question? I was only thinking about myself.
Is that normally you? I mean, are you an emoting kind of person?
No, I've actually practiced as a human. You don't get too highs with the highs and too lows with the lows. You're never as good as people say you are or as bad as they say you are as well. I don't know where that came from. I had no idea I even had that in me. And, people always telling me, oh, we've never seen you like that. I said, I've never been like that. I don't know where it came from other than, I guess it's the Kentucky Derby. And I guess it was that important without me ever realizing it was that important. It was crazy. Never experienced that before.
Well, what's the next act if he would go on and win Saturday?
Hard to imagine I can top that one. I have no idea. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen 6 weeks ago in Louisiana, so I don't know what will happen after the Derby. But, I mean, it's going to be a really exciting race. We're just, ecstatic to be here. If we cross that finish line first, if we're fortunate enough and lucky enough and the horse is good enough, stay tuned, and I don't know. I just don't know. I've never showed a kind of emotion before, and I don't know what's ahead of me.
What's the whole ride been like, and at what point did you start really getting excited with this horse?
When he finished second in the Breeders' Cup. I mean, he had broken his maiden in his fourth start, but it was the first time going dirt 2 turns with blinkers on. And he came out to train sensationally. It was like the light switch went on, and he was just phenomenal training after that. And so we thought we had a chance, and that's why we went to Keeneland. And he was 94-1, so the public, we're a bit skeptical about him. We felt pretty good the way he was training, and his numbers seemed to fit with most of the horses in the race. But when he finished second, we were so happy to finish second, which I've never been in my life, second in anything I don't like. But it's what it symbolized. It symbolized that we were a legitimate horse on the Derby trail. And I think that's when we realized we had something there, and he could really be good, and he's continued to get better and better, and he's a happy horse.
What do you do? I ask people this. What do you do in your real life to support your horse habit?
Well, I was actually co-founder of a company called Pro Flowers. It was an internet flower company. And,
I've ordered flowers from them.
Well, thank you very much. My kids' education, they thank you as well. So that's kind of what helped me be able to afford to dabble in the horse business. I don't have any horses myself, own the horses completely. Partnership with Greg Helm and Roadrunner Racing and Patrick O'Neill, your favorite, and the boat racing guys. So all my horses I do in partnership. But thankfully the Pro Flowers and all the people that worked for me over the years, they made me look a lot better than I am and let me do this.
There's a pun, a headline, a story, many of them somewhere with Pro Flowers and roses. I gotta think. Right?
Yeah. Before I got involved in Pro Flowers, I didn't know the difference between a flower and a tulip, except for the first Saturday in May. I knew those were roses, a big thing of red roses, and I hope to wear it over my shoulder come this Saturday.
So, how did it change your life after the Breeders' Cup when you thought maybe you're allowed to dream about the Kentucky Derby at that point?
I think it's the excitement. You wake up every day thinking about the horse. Like the way I describe it, it's like the first time that you're in love, right? It's the first thing you think about when you wake up. It's the last thing you think about when you go to sleep, and you think about it every minute in between. And literally, it's been like that since the Breeders' Cup race. You just think about it every day, that we have a chance to go to the Derby, and here it is a few days out, and I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch, if you will, because we still have to get them in the gate, and so much can happen, as we all know, in this game between now and Saturday. So fingers still crossed, and keep him healthy and happy, and hopefully we'll be in that gate, and he'll have a good showing for himself.
Is this your first time at the Derby? I mean, not as an owner, but have you been there as a...
I have been, yes.
Yeah.
I was a guest at Chris McCarron's previously when he rode the Deputy. So I've been here before, never thinking I would be on the other side, having one of the 20 horses in the starting gate.
Yeah, and how's it different, though, being there with... I'm sure you had very good seats if you're Chris McCarron's guest, and the Deputy was one of the favorites, than having your own horse there.
It's not even the same planet. It's not even, you can't think about something. It was fun to come to the Derby, and it was a good life experience to experience the Derby. But to have a horse in it, it's a completely different level of probably anything I've ever done in my life. I've not experienced or felt anything like we do now, having a horse in the Kentucky Derby.
And final question, what would you say to people about, why should they own horses? Why should people own racehorses, in partnership or outright?
If you watch my interview on TVG back then, the excitement that it brought to me, and literally an incredibly even keel, non-emotional guy. That's what the Derby and that's what owning horses does. Like, I was fortunate enough to open Wall Street one time when we took our company public. That was pretty exciting. It's far more exciting to have a $20,000 claim across the finish line first. It's that adrenaline rush. It's the competition. It's just a great feeling, and just to be around the horses in the mornings. They all have such different personalities, and you come feed them a carrot. It's just something very, very special about this whole game. Between early in the mornings to the afternoons watching them race.